let's run up a million.
conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, JERMAIN BOTSIO.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, JERMAIN BOTSIO. How's everybody doing on this beautiful, and let me say this again, beautiful Sunday evening? It's absolutely beautiful. Here in Minneapolis, it was a beautiful day, sun out. A little bit windy, a little bit chilly, but, you know, what can I say? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, JERMAIN BOTSIO. And I do want to say that you are the gracious host. That should be your tag, JERMAIN BOTSIO, the gracious host. This past week, I'm telling you, there's stuff in the news on the Rumble, because we are going to open it up, examine it, and we're going to hold it up to be looked at and talked about. And we're going to just nail these liberals down, because what's happening to our country because of these liberals, it is unconscionable. And it's all due to Joe Biden.
Absolutely. It's all due to Joe Biden. Joe Biden, he is a big old snake, Anthony, and a big old snake, you can't get around it. He is a guy who does not care right now, Anthony Allen. He does not care. And one thing I do know, if we don't start speaking about these type of things here and really informing the folks about what's going on, we won't get our country back in order. It won't be good at all. So it's incumbent on everybody right now, everybody, to make sure you look at a good, decent neighbor. What? Good, decent neighbor. And do the right thing. Oh, there's a bad echo? I got you. Hold on. Hold on. Can you hear me now? It should be good. I got you. How's it now? I think it sounds good now. Bow. All right. Anthony Allen. Got it figured out. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. I had an effect on there. Brother, I'm ready.
Because you know what? The people have got to know the truth about what's happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get rocking. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. All right. I'm going to definitely need your help. As you guys know, we have a lot of folks out there who definitely don't want this type of show to go out. You know why, right? It's because what we speak about on here. So I need you guys to hit that like button. Make sure you share. Video sponsor of the night, ladies and gentlemen, shoptotheright.com. Make sure you guys go there. Make sure you do, especially if you're a vendor. They're looking for you. They're looking for people who have physical products to sell. Small business owners. If that's you, let me tell you something. You're in luck. Shoptotheright.com will help you out. They want to help you set up. No monthly fee, no setup fee, ladies and gentlemen. It is beautiful. They're a small business company, and let me tell you something. They're doing big things. So go to shoptotheright.com. All right. Let me tell you something. Those folks are really good. They're really good. First one up, Anthony Allen. I want to go ahead and speak about a viral case in Texas. There's a case right now that is crazy, and it deals with a baby mama. Absolutely. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony Allen. Absolutely. Yeah, so I want to go ahead and run this. When I come back, I want to speak about it. It's about a man who went to go pick up his kid, all right? And I want folks to understand something here. A lot of people are in this type of predicament here. He was told to pick up his kid at a certain time. He gets there, and guess what? The kid ain't there. Yeah, the kid ain't there. And the man, he gets into a small argument with his ex. And let me tell you something. The boyfriend come out. Yup, rifle in hand. And let me tell you something. It turned into something that was very deadly. I want to go ahead and run it. When it come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share, all right? That's the only way, let me tell you, that we can get seen around here. The only way that we, all of us, can get our message out. Here we go.
Trying to keep my son from me, I'm fixing to drag you and Anne-Marie and everybody else into court. I'm subpoenaing your mom. I'm subpoenaing Anne-Marie.
This is on video. I'm very
glad. I am.
Leave!
Do it. Right, you better fucking use it, motherfucker. Because goddamn it, I'll take it from you and fucking put it on video.
Call the police.
Got it?
Call
Where's
911.
my son?
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. I have it on video.
From you and fucking.
This is on video. Get off of the property.
Where's my son?
Her ex-husband has showed up.
Get off of my property. I'll go get him. I'm supposed to have him at 3:15. And you're playing games telling me that I can pick him up at 6? I'm going to have the cuffs. I've already got the cuffs on the way to your mom's house. Because that's probably where he is. It's not when I'm done working. I get him at 3:15. I get him at 3:15. I don't care if you wanted to see him or not. I get him at 3:15. If you want to see him, you see him up until 3:15. You keep trying to keep my son from me. I'm fixing to drag you and Anne-Marie and everybody else into court. I'm subpoenaing your mom. I'm subpoenaing Anne-Marie.
This is on video. I'm very
Yeah, I am.
Leave!
Do it.
Right
You
now.
better fucking use it, motherfucker! Because goddamn it, I'll take it
Call
from
the
you and
police.
fucking
Call
put
the
it on
police.
video.
Call the police.
Got it?
Call
Where's
911.
my son?
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
Take that fucking.
Call 911. Call 911. I have it on video, Kyle. You did it, not him.
I told all of y'all to leave.
We came to get his son.
He's not here.
She should have told
My
that.
place of employment.
She should have told
None
that.
of y'all should be here. None of y'all should be here. I asked you to leave. I did everything. I did not want to do any of this.
911. Kyle Curran, my husband.
Anthony Allen, let me tell you something, man. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Anthony Allen, what do you think about this here, sir? Father comes to get his kid. His kid isn't there. He's saying that, hey, you're playing games with me, right? Rightfully upset, just like a lot of folks are. And it turns into a deadly match here. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is very, very tragic. However, I do want to say that when someone says, get off my property, and they return with a rifle, I think it's time to go, no matter what your business is. But I do want to give these 5 points. These are points to live by, okay? Number 1, you don't pull on Superman's cape. Number 2, you don't spit in the wind. Number 3, you don't pull the mask off the Lone Ranger. Number 4, you don't mess around with Slim. And number 5, you don't snatch the business end of another man's rifle or shotgun. You do those 5 things, you will live. If you take wise counsel and someone says, get off my property, and they return with a weapon, you will live too. Now, I know that there are some emotional things involved. There are some, children involved. However, you will see your child again. When someone says, get off of my property, and they return with a rifle, it's time not to be a big guy, to leave. You don't put your hand on the business end of another man's rifle. You just don't do that. And so this is very, very tragic, but unfortunately, there is a big case for self-defense. There's no one that pulls out a rifle that will let someone take it from them and shoot them with their own weapon. That's not going to happen. God are not going to let you do that. I'm just saying, and it's very, very tragic. Leave. Just take your wife, your car, and say, you know what? I'll see you in court. That's all that should have happened here. It's very, very unfortunate, but there is a case for self-defense here.
Absolutely. If there is a case for self-defense. You're absolutely correct about that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. It is so upsetting to me that we have this problem here in the United States. And it has to deal with family court in a sense. Men out there, there's a lot of them who don't, how can I say, think about this type of issue until they're actually put into this type of predicament, let me tell you. They really don't care. And I want the men to understand that this type of issue goes on all the time. Ask your mom, not maybe your mama, but ask your daddy, ask your brother, ask your uncle. Let me tell you, ask your cousin. They know about this type of issue. If you ask most men, if they have a ex, they're dealing with this type of issue where they have a hard time seeing the child. And I want the women to understand that. They have a super hard time. Super hard time. And it should not be like that. I want the white men to understand. I want you to understand something here. You guys are the ones who created the fathers' rights movement. I want the white men to understand. You are the one who created the fathers' rights movement for white men. Yeah, you started it. It was a white man who got divorced. His wife ran off with his children. Good man. Never had a felony. Never been to jail. I want you white men to wake up. Never been to jail. Worked, took care of his family. His wife had other plans, though. And I want the gentlemen to understand this. Because no matter how secure you think you are, let me tell you something. It can be ripped up under you. And I want the men to understand this. If you're a real man, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a sport. I want the gentlemen to understand that. So you have to open your eyes when it comes to a lot of this stuff and stick together. Fathers' rights movement started with a white man because he could not see his children. He went to the court, tried to get 50-50 deal because the court is in bed with Satan, right? They want the moolah, the 66 cents on each eligible child support dollar. They denied him. He thought it was outrageous. Ladies, don't you think it's outrageous? Men can't even go to court and get 50-50. When they go in, they try to give them less. I want the women to understand this. So when this guy went over here, of course he's upset. Because a lot of the times, your money is being sucked up by the court, and then your ex is playing games with your children, right? And then you're fighting for your legacy, and you're having depression over it. Now, Anthony Allen, you're absolutely correct in this situation. You're absolutely correct. Not going to fault you on that. Let me tell you. His place, gosh darn it, his property, and then you threaten the man. Gosh darn it, there got to be something going on. I want to go ahead and run this clip here. When it come back, we're going to speak about it, all right? And it deals with the facts of this case here. It's a news clip. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need your help. All right? Look how bad I started off, right? I had my cousin come and help me and figure some new stuff out with this new OBS system. I'm screwing up. Look at me. Look how black I am. I need help. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Well, nearly 3 weeks of investigation leads us to tonight, when we can witness all that we've been wondering. What happened when Kyle Carruth fatally shot Chad Reed on November 5th? Matthew Harris, the attorney for Chad Reed's widow, Jennifer Reed, tells us the family wants to end the speculation and show the public exactly what happened. Kyle Carruth's lawyer also giving us his own video from another perspective, saying he believes it supports their claim of self-defense. Now we're going to show you both videos side by side now so that you can make sense of the facts and the fallout from that day. And we will warn you though, some of what you're about to see is graphic.
From you and
This is on video. Get off of the property.
where's my son?
Breaking this Wednesday, we witnessed the shooting that spurred questions and controversy across West Texas. The victim's widow and the shooter's attorney sharing their perspective of when Kyle Carruth fatally shot Chad Reed on November 5th.
This is on video. Get off of the property.
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911.
I'm recording it. Oh my God.
LPD investigated the incident and did not press charges, but Chad's widow Jennifer Reed says Kyle should be charged with murder. Also breaking, Jennifer petitioning for full custody of Chad's children from their mother, Christina Reed, saying in an affidavit obtained Wednesday, Christina has endangered the physical and emotional well-being of the children by permitting them to be in the presence of the man that murdered their father. Kyle's attorney, David Gwynn, also telling us Wednesday he believes this video supports the claim of self-defense, telling us all Texans may lawfully brandish a firearm to protect themselves. Careful study of the video showed Kyle's gun was brandished but never pointed at Reed. It was only after Mr. Reed said, "I'll take your gun," slinging him across the patio like a scarecrow, then stepped toward him, that Mr. Carruth
He said like
pointed
a
the gun at
scarecrow.
Mr. Reed. Because of their knowledge of all the facts and the Texas Castle Doctrine, LPD knew this was a justifiable homicide. Our hopes are that a Lubbock grand jury will do a thorough investigation of all the facts and will clear Mr. Carruth. That investigation is still pending in the Texas Attorney General's office. And it's in the Attorney General's office because the Lubbock County District Attorney's office recused itself, citing Kyle's ongoing divorce from State District Judge Anne Marie Carruth. That's what we know so far, and of course we'll keep you updated with the latest as we learn it at everythinglubbock.com.
Man, oh man, Anthony Allen. Man, oh man, let me tell you. You just can't get over this. So what's crazy is that the guy is married to the county judge over there.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. It is crazy, man. You know,
man.
Yeah, people, you know, like there's some emotional aspects here because of the custody situation. You know, that's well said. You know, some women do play games with a man's children. And apparently he had been catered around with too long. He had probably gone different places trying to pick his son up, and the woman, you know, didn't have the son there, and he was very, very angry. However, you know, these things happen all the time. And, you know, child custody cases, when you're divorced and you have children, that happens. However, you're on someone else's property, and that person tells you to get off their property. And what that person says with a weapon in his hand should trump the idea that you're pissed off with your ex-wife because she doesn't give you the children. Okay, you don't, you know, pull on Superman's cape. You don't spit in the wind. You don't pull the mask off the Lone Ranger. You don't mess around with some dude named Slim, and you don't snatch the business end of someone's rifle. You just don't do that. And if the person says get off their property, that trumps everything. Just go home and see the person in court. You'll live a whole lot longer that way.
Absolutely. Anthony Allen, you're absolutely correct. You don't mess with a guy named Slim, or Big Dick Ben,
Yeah,
or gosh darn it, the business end of a shotgun.
yeah, you just don't do those kinds of things.
You don't do this. You just don't. You're absolutely correct. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get around this. Men out there, men got to understand something here. There's too many what we call simp enforcers out there. If you don't know what a simp enforcer is, let me tell you. It's a guy who does not know what I call common sense. He doesn't know common sense. And a guy who's all about the coochie. Guys out there, you have to understand something here. If you're dating a baby mama, more than likely there's a guy in the background who wants to see his kid, who's been fighting to see his kid. I don't care what these women are telling you. Yeah, look at my face. I don't care. Right? I don't care. I really don't care. Because when you go and speak to the men that they claim that are running, right? The men will tell you that they can't see their children either. They've been trying to fight to see their children. And I want the folks to understand that, and I want the men to understand that. When you're dating a baby mama, most of the time you are the one who is hindering the guy from seeing his kid. I want the gentlemen to understand this. I want you to understand this. Women are not going to be honest and say, you know what, it was me. She's not going to do that. She's not. You've never heard it. You've never heard a woman say, you know what, I'm keeping him away from his child. She's not going to do that. You have to recognize what the deal is. You have to. Men want to be in their children's lives. Men out there, if your baby mama got a new simp enforcer, a new boyfriend, right? And the man isn't, how can I say, man enough to say, hey, brother, whenever you want and come and get your child, come and get your child. Right? I have nothing to do with you guys' mess, right? That's how the guy should be. You get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen? You're dating a baby mama. You have no right to say nothing about that child. You decided to date a baby mama. If he wants to come over because his child is in your home, guess what? Most of the time they're going to do it. That's what you get when you date a baby mama. I want the gentleman to understand that. Yeah, that's what you get when you date a baby mama. They gonna cut, yeah. That's why there's a lot of guys who don't want to deal with baby mamas because they don't want to deal with a crazy ex. So I want the gentleman to understand. You should stay away. The men should, if you can. If not, be a good host. Yes, brother, you can always come over here and be able to see your child. Come and grab your child. You get what I'm saying? But if he's not going to do that, like a lot of beta men in this world are doing right now, you're going to get this type of nonsense and paying through the roof. Anthony Allen, last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, that was definitely paying through the roof. This mother was supposed to have the child ready at 3 o'clock. And she didn't. She told Chad Reed to come back at 6. The baby apparently was not there. And Chad would not take no for an answer. But it all boils down to get off my property. The baby's not here. Now, but I still go back to my, points. There's sometimes you just have to leave another man's property.
Yep, you do.
The baby's not there, and the woman wants the ex and the new boyfriend to fight.
Yep.
And that's all she did. She made them fight, and it was deadly. Because there's no guy that will let someone take a gun from them, because if someone takes a gun from you, they're going to shoot you with it. And that's not likely to happen. I mean, military, and you know this, you're going to keep your weapon with you. You're not going to let someone disarm you.
Nope.
not like that.
Nope,
So
not
that
like
was a
that at
very, very
all.
deadly. That was a very, very deadly game that was played, and Chad paid the ultimate price for it.
He definitely did, and it in my eyes, it's a lesson. It's a lesson that a lot of guys should learn and understand. Anthony Allen, a lot of guys should learn and understand that this lesson. It will always come down to if you're going to do the right thing or not. In this case here, he could have done the right thing, Anthony Allen, very simply, right? He could have just said, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and record this, document it, and then go to court. And I know how the guys are when we say go to court, right? Guys out there, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're already still, taking your money from here to Pakistan, right? I know. They already taking your money, right? And usually when you go to the court, they're going to just, give her another chance. That's why when women say, yeah, just go to the court. But yeah, most of the time you go to court, you're losing money and you're losing time. But this is what the game is right now until most men start waking up and they start marching and start going to get down some legislation. Because this will never, I want the men to understand, this will never change. No matter how secure you think you are in your relationship. Go ahead and ask everybody who get married. They think that they'll never get divorced, right? I want the men to wake up, right? Because the women are already woke, right? If something goes sour, they're skipping down to the courthouse. So I want you guys to understand something here. You have to be able to recognize what's going on and be able to effectively make change, not even for you, but for future generations of men coming forth, right? All we want is a level playing field. That's why there's equal parenting time bills across this nation right now. I want the women to understand, right? There's shared parenting time bills. And women, the reason why these bills are here is because it's not fair, right? The men want to be there and they've been suckered out. And there's a feminist message out there saying that men just abscond and leave. It's a gosh darn lie. It's a lie from hell. A lie from hell. I want folks to understand. And you can't get around that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. I'm definitely going to need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two people who just donated here. First shout out goes out to my guy, Lloyd Trissler. Lloyd Trissler just donated. Give a shout out to our guy, Lloyd Trissler. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Lloyd. Shout out to you. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our girl, Teresa Capone. She donated. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. We going to need your help. We definitely going to need your help. Anthony Allen, next one up here, brother. I want to go ahead and speak to you about hate. Oh, yes, sir, about hate. As you know, we have a lot of hate around. A lot of hate. And I want folks to understand, hate comes in all colors. It certainly does. Ask Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen, does it hate come in all colors, brother?
Yes, it's a rainbow of colors that hate comes in.
Let me tell you. Rainbow of colors that it comes in, ladies and gentlemen. Rainbow of colors. You can't make this stuff up. And the hate that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is something that the black community don't want to speak about. It's a mindset that is there that a lot of them have. It's an anti-white mindset. And it's because of certain types of rhetoric. Isn't that right, Anthony Allen?
100% all the way, brother.
Absolutely. And I want our audience here, our beautiful audience, to take a look at the things that are circulating in high propensity in the black sphere, right? The black liberal mainstream sphere. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. All right? I'm going to need your help. Here we go. Minister Nuri Mohammed. Another one of these Nation of Islams. He has a message for black folks, and apparently it's resonated with a lot of people. I want you guys to take a look at it. Here we go. Make sure you share.
Don't you know that you not no real gangster? You'll never be able to out-gangster white people. What the hell's the sense in trying something if you're not going to be the best at it? You still in car radios. You still in flat screens. Well, the white man stole you. Top that. You're not going to beat him at stealing, so don't stop trying it. No, the original gangsters is not the brothers that were cripping and blooding on the West Coast. The original gangsters are the Celts, the Nomads, the Vikings, the Goths, the Visigoths, the Anglo-Saxons. In other words, the OGs are the cave tribes in Europe. These are the original gangsters. You are not a thug, black man. You are not a gangster. You are a God when you're really in yourself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can sum up what Master Farad Muhammad brought to us in 6 words. Accept your own and be yourself. Why? Because you're faking. You're acting. You don't really want to be a hoochie mama, you're faking at it. You're not a pimp, you faking at it. You're not a womanizer, you're faking at it. You're not a killer of your own people, you're faking at it. And don't you know that anytime you're not your own self, some scientists call that being locked in somebody else's valence? In other words, that you are fixed in somebody else's personality? Did you hear me? They say the average person has 50 to 100 personalities that they shift in and out on based upon re-stimulation. In other words, when it's hot outside, I'm this dude. If I show up at the mosque, I'm this sister. If I'm at work, I'm this man. If I'm driving down the street, I'm this other guy. Do you know how, that's why we so daggone tired.
So, Anthony Allen, my goodness gracious, this Negro crazy. You hear the black supremacy rhetoric. You hear the anti-white rhetoric. Let me tell you something. This is the type of stuff that we always speak about on this show. This is the type of stuff that is circulating publicly without any denunciation from anybody. Nobody's denouncing this at all. What do you think about this here, sir? What do you think about the apparent racism that appears to be circulating without anybody really saying anything about it?
Yeah, this is our audience has witnessed the hate that is circulating in the black community. And this hate has been circulating for a very, very long time. I'm familiar with this hate. When I lived in Atlanta, the black Muslims were down there. It's been circulating since the 60s and the 70s, the 80s. It has always been there. Elijah Muhammad, who this speaker spoke of, is supposed to be like a prophet of this Islamic, of the Black Muslim. This guy spoke about Elijah Muhammad and Wallace Farragut Muhammad. Both of these men were like prophets in this cult of the Islamic cult. And both of these men are racist, they're bigoted. In fact, if you read the history of the Black Muslim, you know that Malcolm X separated from the Black Muslim because the prophet Elijah Muhammad was having sex and had fathered children from his secretaries. So that's one of the reasons why Malcolm X separated from the Black Muslim. However, the Black Muslim, they always try to motivate Black people by hating white people. That's their main way of motivating Black people. The Black Muslims believe that white people are devils, literal devils. In fact, the story is, according to Black Muslim theology, that white people were created in a laboratory by a mad Black scientist named Yaqub on the island of Patmos. Let me say that again. The Black Muslims believe that white people are literal devils, and these devils were created in a laboratory by a mad scientist named Yaqub on the island of Patmos. So we are dealing with a cult, and this has been spreading for a long, long time in the Black community. Many people in the Black community buy into this kind of rhetoric and racism. Black Muslims believe that Black men are gods, okay? Not the big God, but gods, demigods, and that the white men are devils. And that's why they speak about white people as blue-eyed devils, and that's why their rhetoric is so over the top. And they classify white people as cavemen, primitive, gangsters, devils, and that is the rhetoric that comes out of the Black community. These races in the Black Muslim religion have no place in decent society. And people that adhere to this, they're racist. So don't pretend, so don't act as if when you hear a Black Muslim that they're upright and they're clean cut. If you're a white person, they see you as a devil, and they will always promote this hatred. And this is against white people constantly. And everything that happens to Black people, the Black Muslims blame white people for it. It goes on and on. One more point. The reason that Malcolm X has X for his name is the fact that Black Muslims believe a person's last name is the slave name.
Yeah.
So when you become a Black Muslim, you get rid of your last name and you can put an X by it. And that means that you are now within the faith. So you have Malcolm X and other Black Muslims that have an X by their name. The hatred is very, very deep. And they are a cult of the Islamic cult. Real Muslims don't recognize the Black Muslims, okay? Because they consider them a cult of their own religion.
You ain't lying about that. You are not lying about that at all. Not at all. You know, these folks are around in every urban area, Anthony Allen. You can't get around it. If you come to Minneapolis, especially North Minneapolis, yes, they are actually outside selling, I think it's a newspaper. You pay a couple of dollars, and then you can get their newspaper. They're dressed in suits, Anthony Allen. Literally, they're dressed in suits. They have white gloves on, and then they have the newspaper in the hand there. And what they do is they try to stop folks, try to, get a little money for the newspaper. And all they're doing is spreading hate, right? Because they know that most Black folks, especially in that urban area, have a downtrodden type of mentality. For the folks who are out there who don't know, right? oh, woe is me type of mentality, life is hard mentality. I'm looking for a come up type of mentality. And when you have this type of, influence that is out there, it's easy for people to gravitate towards this type of, in their eyes, empowerment. Because Anthony Allen, this type of philosophy in their eyes is an empowerment, right? A black empowerment. Yes, it's supposed to basically restore their identity so that they can, quote unquote, move forward in their life. But in all actuality, it does the opposite. Last words, Anthony Allen.
It does the opposite, because what they are adhering to is an inferiority complex. If you don't have an inferiority complex, then you're not constantly putting down someone else to make yourself look good. People that put down everybody and everything, they are the ones with the inferiority complex. And this is what we're dealing with when we come to these hate-filled groups like the Black Muslims. They are breeding a constant inferiority complex that the white person is so superior that they have to tear them down, call them devils, just to make themselves be at the same level. This is an inferiority complex on steroids. And blacks that go around hating white people, saying mean and cruel things about white people, they are exhibiting clearly an inferiority complex. One other point too is that these groups like the Black Muslims, they're allowed to flourish in the prisons, where the Christian religions, they get put down all the time. The Black Muslim religion and even Islam itself, they are allowed to flourish everywhere they go. But you cannot say anything horrible or bad about the Muslim religion, but you can say anything horrible or bad about Christianity. So when blacks go to prison, they have been talked to and evangelized by the Muslims. And when they come out, they are racist and they are bigoted, because they don't get the gospel in the prison. They get the Black Muslim religion in the prison. And the Black Muslims, they go after young Black men constantly, all the time. And they are breeding in these young men an inferiority complex.
Absolutely. And Anthony Allen, it does more than that. It breeds hate. And that's exactly what they're looking for right now, is hate. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right? We're going to need your help. We gonna need your help, all right? Absolutely. Next one up. Next one up here. Let me go ahead and pull up my list here. Bow. I want to go ahead, brother, and speak to you about Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. He has gotten out of jail now, out of prison. Well, jail, I should say. Verdict, not guilty. Everybody and their mama's mama was happy about that. If you weren't happy, I should say, you probably were working for Satan. Right now, he's doing media interviews galore. He's stacking up that paper, that media paper right now. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling it first. There's going to be a Kyle Rittenhouse movie. All right? I don't know if the Daily Wire would do it. Somebody would do it. But it'll be the Kyle Rittenhouse movie. And let me tell you, it'll be a beautiful movie. It's going to hit in the summer. Let me tell you. Absolutely. But besides all that, Anthony Allen, he's doing some media interviews right now. And he's speaking about one man. He's speaking about a man that I've spoken about that I get routinely bashed for. He goes by the name of Lin Wood. Lin Wood, in his opinion, is a snake, a shyster, and a grifter, apparently. He thinks that he has been taken advantage of and used. I want to go ahead and run this interview. When it come back, I want to get your take on it. Now, this interview was 45 minutes long. We're not going to spend 45 minutes on this interview. We're only going to play a couple of minutes, and I'm going to let folks know, all right? So please, oh, please, hit that like button. Make sure you share, all right? We're going to need your help. We definitely going to need your help. Kyle Rittenhouse right now is saying that he was taken advantage of. Now, there's some people out there who is saying that, hey, Jermaine, he's not a somebody hit me up and said, Jermaine, I was very upset about your post. You said some things about my father and Savior and my Lord, Lynn Wood. You said some stuff and I didn't like it, Jermaine. First of all, he's not a trial attorney. I get a whole bunch of those. And I never said he was a trial attorney, defense attorney, or any of that. All I said was that he was charged with gathering bail to get him out. You don't need Anthony Allen. Do you need a law degree to get bail and bail somebody out?
No.
You don't, right? Okay, that's all I put down. When I put that down, they were angry and mad. He had one task: get money to bail him out. That's it. I mean, and folks are arguing with me. Well, he's not a defense. You don't need to be a defense nothing. If I told Anthony, brother, I'm locked up. My bail $10,000. Please, I need you to get some money for me. He's not going to say, well, you know what, I didn't get any money and I didn't bail him out because, I'm not a defense attorney. I mean, and he was collecting the money, and he was collecting the money too. And ladies and gentlemen, you better use common sense. Let me go ahead and run this. When it come back, I want to speak about Anthony Allen. I'm sure somebody out there is still mad at me. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Here we go. Make sure you share.
Myself.
Have you become a pawn, though, do you think?
I believe Lynn Wood and John Pierce used me for their own pawn. That's part of the reason why I fired them.
To be clear, Lynn Wood and John Pierce were your first attorneys.
Correct.
In your case. So walk me through a little bit. I think people hear the name and then they hear the controversy, but they don't know the whole story. So what, in a nutshell, is the whole story with those first two attorneys?
All right, so Lynn Wood and John Pierce on August 27th became counsel, and they started raising money, and they raised over $2 million before September 5th of 2020, and they wanted to fight extradition with a militia argument, which I didn't even know what a militia was until November 20th when I got bailed out. But they went on to say that I was in an unorganized militia, which is just not true, and they didn't respect my wishes, and they kept me away from my family for 87 days, and I thank them for raising the money, but I could have been bailed out a lot sooner in September if they hadn't kept me in jail.
When and how did you find out that they had raised enough money for your bail and still weren't posting it?
Shortly before I fired before my mom fired Lynn Wood, and I want to say December.
But why would she fire him? Did she fire him because she found out that the money was in the pot but wasn't being put towards bail?
We fired him because he was going on with all this QAnon and election fraud stuff and just stuff we don't agree with.
And so it was his political views that led to you firing Lynn Wood?
A mixture of a little bit of that.
And what else was in the mix?
Just how he is as a person.
And what does that mean?
He's insane.
That's what I see.
What made you think he was insane?
Just how he thinks he's God, and he just does says all these weird things like we're gonna keep that boy in jail because there's not gonna be any civil or criminal cases. come the election, which is just complete insanity.
So you fired him and got a hold of the money that was raised and bailed out. And now I think it's around $2 million. Am I
correct?
Mistaken?
$2 million.
Okay. What happens to that money now, and what do you know about it?
On the day that I was acquitted, Lynn Wood and his attorneys filed a motion with the Kenosha County Court saying, hey, we want that $2 million back that we raised for Kyle, which is supposed to go towards paying my legal bills that I still have going. And he filed that motion as the verdict was being read, as I was walking into court to learn my fate. And he just was trying to grift that money back when he said he raised it for me so I can be able to pay my legal bills.
And so you're in a legal fight for that money?
Yes.
And you've hired civil attorneys?
Correct.
And how much money do you have left in legal bills to pay?
I couldn't give you a number on the top of my head. I looked a couple days ago, but I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly right now. I've been very busy over the past couple days.
That sounds right about right, I would think. Do the people who put forth that money, they come from all over the country, I'm assuming?
Yes.
And they have, many of them, a political cause as well, because if it was raised under the political banner and your former attorneys were using that politically to raise money, they might feel a certain way.
With all of our donors, I don't believe my donors are political. I believe my donors are the ones that believe in the right to self-defense. We have donors on the left and we have donors on the right.
So do you feel you owe anybody who helped raise money, or do you feel you owe anyone who sent money, in any respect, whether you owe them?
I'm going to stop it right here. So I'm going to stop it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Brother, my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. Did you guys hear that? Yeah, for the people who hit me up and who said, hey, Jermaine, he's just a little boy. He don't know anything, right? He don't sound like a little boy who don't know anything. Anthony Allen, he don't sound like one to me. He sound like a big boy who know what he talking about here. That's what he sound like, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he sounds like. What do you think about this here, Anthony Allen?
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse is very, very aware of his circumstances. And apparently, from his conversations, you can tell that he was keeping up with everything regarding his trial and his circumstances. He correctly understood what was happening to him. And he seems as if he was also taking notes, because he has dates and times. Every time I hear him talk, he brings up dates and times off the top of his head. So like, he's very, very aware of what's going on. Maybe he was keeping a diary, but because of his awareness, this is why the left hates him, because he's a regular blue collar dude. Okay. He wasn't going to college. He was a regular all-American Boy Scout type of a guy. He was a lifeguard. He wanted to work in his community with the police department, the EMS, and the fire department. These are guys that the left hates. The left hates police officers. The left hates people that put out their riot fires. The left hates people that take care of people who they beat up. He was all those things that the left hates. So now we come to find out that Kyle is a well-spoken young man. He's not using slang. He's not throwing words around carelessly. He's precise in how he codifies something. And when he talks about Lynn Wood, it wasn't a mistake when he called Lynn Wood insane. He was speaking very, very carefully, and he used that word exactly like he meant it. And then he described why he used that word, because of his behavior, the QAnon stuff. Lynn Wood thinks that he is a god. And so he's a very, very smart young man. So I would like to hear Lynn Wood's side of things, but I don't think Linwood would dare come out against Kyle Rittenhouse, because this young man knows what he's talking about. He probably studies carefully what he's going to say. And I believe that he took a diary or some way of keeping up with all the dates and times very, very clearly. This is a great young man who will go places.
Absolutely. He certainly is. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Anthony Allen, you just can't get around this here. So, Lin Wood here. And I've said this plenty of times. I said that Lin Wood is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
I literally said this. I said he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Folks looked at me like I was crazy. I said, all you got to do is look at the stuff he posts. He's not living in reality. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, the boy is telling you that the man is a grifter. That the man, when he was entering the court to learn his fate, Lin Wood put in a petition to the court so he could get that money, that bail money. How evil is that? That's evil. He was probably salty because he got fired. And every time you speak to Lin Wood, right, and you disagree with him, he call you deep state, right? He tell you that you need Jesus in your life, right? I mean, I don't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. I'm just a smart cat. I don't fall for all that Jesus stuff. I don't. No, yeah, I don't. I don't fall for the cries. I'm very fluent when it comes to pointing out false compassion and people who are BSing. So, in my eyes, Anthony Allen, this should be a lesson to a lot of conservatives out there, right? He spoke bad about Marjorie Taylor Greene when Marjorie Taylor Greene pointed him out for it. Called her, ladies and gentlemen, deep state. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen? Called it deep state. I don't make this stuff up. I don't. So it's whatever you think it is, but I'm just letting you guys see this, right? I know there's a lot of folks out there who probably disagree, right? Mad, upset. I understand. But that's what it is. Last words on this here before we move on, sir.
Yes, I do want to thank Kristen Walker for her donation. Thank you very much, darling. You're just a wonderful lady. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I've always been impressed with Kyle Rittenhouse, the way that he handles himself. Even when he was on the stand, he was real. When he talked about his life as a lifeguard, wanting to be associated with the police, he wanted to stay in his community, to work in his community. That is the type of guy that the left hates. Not only is he that type of a guy, but he's also white.
Yeah.
They don't want Kyle Rittenhouse. They want betas. They want, limp wrist young men. That's how they want black men. That's how they want white men. But Kyle Rittenhouse, he stood up for a lot of people when it comes to, the ability to defend oneself. And so he did everything correctly. He had his finger off the trigger until he needed to shoot. He wasn't, spraying bullets. He wasn't rotating around. He was just focused on those people attacking him. And he did everything right when it came to that situation. And that's what they hate about Kyle Rittenhouse. They hate him because of that reason and because he's smart.
Absolutely. Anthony Allen, I was thinking here, with everything Kyle Rittenhouse went through, you would think folks would understand, there's a lot of people out there who want to use him. But yes. Apparently, a lot of folks don't understand that right now. They think somehow You know, Kyle Rittenhouse is deep state, or he's so much of a kid he doesn't know what's going on. Now, there's some stuff that he says in this interview here, right? He speaks about the Proud Boys. He doesn't know much about the Proud Boys, right? He's 17 years old. Doesn't know much about the Proud Boys, right? Doesn't know about much about quote unquote white supremacy or any of that. I want folks that being 17, you're not going to know that much, but you're going to know somebody who's a grifter who's trying to steal your money, right?
Yeah.
Who's not trying to help. You're going to know that for sure. Let me tell you, you're going to know that for sure. So get mad at me all you want. Get mad at me all you want, but like I said, Lynn Wood, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I've said it. I said it here first. I said he was crazy. Kyle says he's crazy. He's a grifter and tried to take the $2 million. Did not help him, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you don't need a gosh darn degree to take somebody out of jail. You don't. But that's what it is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the beautiful Kristen Walker. Shout out to you, sweetheart. Absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you guys share. We're going to need your help. We definitely going to need your help. Next one up here. I want to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go ahead and speak about. Let me pull up my list here. Bow. I want to speak about Al Sharpton, Anthony Allen, in this Ahmaud Arbery case. This brother is going all the way around right now. He's trying to, basically prove his narrative that America is racist. Right now, even with this Ahmaud Arbery verdict, he's still spewing racism. And it's something that you can't get out of, you can't get rid of. This man's like a bad rash. Let's speak about him here. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. We're going to need your help. We're going to need your help. Here we go.
This mother would tell me, Reverend, we're going to win this, when I had doubts. She kept praying. This father said, we got to get some justice for my son. And let the word go forth all over the world that a jury of 11 whites and one black in the deep South stood up in the courtroom and said that black lives do matter. Let it be clear that almost 10 years after Trayvon, God used Wanda and Marcus's son to prove that if we kept marching and kept fighting, we would make you hear us. We got a lot more battles to fight, but this was an important battle today. This was proving that our children know their value. And that's why those people that march, I'm talking about the people here, that was here when nobody else was here. They stood up. Georgia will go down in history as the place that criminal justice took a different turn. Let us pray.
Thank you, Lord.
Dear God, we come thanking you for your mercy. Thanking you for giving us.
Thanking you for giving us. Anthony Allen, brother, what do you think about this here?
It is insulting that Al Sharpton would think or try to codify or characterize 11 white jurors as racist and the black juror as a token. This is insulting to America. He's been doing that for quite some time, but he's also parlaying the media narrative. The media narrative is that Southern whites are hillbilly, haystacks, hayseeds, racist bigots, and the Southern black is just some kind of dumb, stupid black person that doesn't know anything at all. That's the media narrative. People believe that Southerners are stupid, ignorant, and foolish. And this is what we have. And Sharpton has been using that idea for a very, very long time. Also, in listening to that prayer, Sharpton, he is praying to a God that has black skin. The God that Sharpton prays to is not impartial. The God that Sharpton prays to is on the side of black people because black people have black skin. This is cultic how Sharpton prays to a God that has black skin, that isn't the Christian God who Sharpton is praying to. There was a case that happened to Abraham Lincoln back during the war. A reporter tried to trap Abraham Lincoln, and this reporter asked Abraham Lincoln, was God on his side? And Abraham Lincoln said, I'm not concerned about God being on my side. My concern is, am I on God's side? And so the God that we pray to is not a God that looks at skin color, but a God that looks at justice. And so the civil rights movement that Sharpton is trying to resurrect, he's trying to resurrect a phony and fraudulent civil rights movement. The civil rights movement of the 60s was about and had to do with the Christian God and doing the correct thing. But this isn't who Sharpton is praying about. He's praying to a God that has to do with skin color and not justice and righteousness and goodness. So we should all take heed and be aware that Sharpton is a racist, always has been a racist. And you and I talk about this. Our white friends should not be trying to figure out how to help out Al Sharpton because he is beyond help, because he is a racist. In fact, my father told me when I was a kid to stay away from Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And that's what I have done my entire life, because they are not leaders that anyone should be following. Not at all.
Not at all, Anthony Allen. One thing I could tell you with everything that's going on with these people here, they don't care about doing the right thing. They only care about their pocketbooks. That is the only thing. And I want folks to understand something here. When it comes to people like Al Sharpton, they make their money doing this. Ain't that right, Anthony Allen?
That's how they get rich. They become millionaires like that.
Absolutely. Who's going to pay for that brand new house, that new Lear jet, right? That G4 jet that he got from Creflo Dollar, Al Sharpton. Somebody needs to pay for it, Anthony Allen.
That's right.
So this is his business, and I want folks to understand that. That's why we speak so harshly about him, because he is hand in hand with Satan. I want folks to understand that is his business. You can't get around it. And it's a terrible thing. It really is, Anthony Allen, that there's folks out here who are doing stuff like this. It really is. And the thing is, there's newcomers like Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt. And it's almost like they're Al Sharpton on steroids, because they're flying all across the country, making millions of dollars, setting up the play for the next generation. Last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, they're setting up the play that America is a racist, bigoted country. And we're going to talk about that later on in some other clips. But however, Al Sharpton, if I was in his presence, I would never bow my head and pray his prayers, because he's praying to a bigoted God, a guy that's more concerned with skin color. And Al Sharpton, he's not concerned with the Arbery family. He just wants to figure out how to get money. And that's all he's been doing all of his life. And liberal whites have been allowing that to happen. He is not a leader of Black people. Neither is Jesse Jackson a leader of Black people. Black people should finally realize that the leader that we follow are the people that we vote for. No one has ever voted for Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson for anything. But yet and still, liberals will tell Black people they are Black leaders. No, they're not Black leaders. They are only people that they have always used to influence the Black vote. They have never cared about Black people. All they care about is their pocketbook, like you so well said, Jermaine BOTSIO.
That is it. Let me tell you, only their pocketbook. And I wish people would understand that, Anthony Allen. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. We gonna need your help. Next one up. I want to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull this up here. Let me pull this up here real quick. All right, perfect. Got it. All right, next one we're going to be speaking about here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak about a trial. And it's a trial that a lot of folks have not spoke about. We were going to speak about it last week, but I decided with everything going on to wait. And I think right now is actually a very good time to speak about it since, the verdict of Kyle Rittenhouse is over. And it deals with a Black man by the name of Andrew Coffey IV. I want folks to understand that. All right. Andrew Coffey IV. He is a felon. And this young Black man here ended up shooting some deputies, killing one. He had a murder charge, attempted murder. And he ended up getting off. I want folks to understand that. He ended up getting off, which was, something that the media did not even speak about. We have a whole bunch of these folks running their mouth out here right now, ladies and gentlemen, saying how bad America is, but they won't be honest at all. Won't be honest about the things that are happening that is tearing up our nation. And ladies and gentlemen, our culture. I want you guys to take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share. All right? Make sure you share. Here we go. Here we go.
We're here today because this defendant tried to kill each of those men.
During opening statements Monday, there was no argument over whether Andrew Coffey IV, known as AJ, fired at a SWAT team conducting a search warrant at a home in Gifford. Defense attorneys counter there was justification for Coffey to defend himself.
He was besieged with loud noises, gunfire, the sheriff's department coming, and losing the love of his life that night.
That would be 21-year-old Alteria Woods. It was back in March of 2017 when a raid was executed at this home off 35th Avenue. The sheriff's office maintains after announcing its presence, 2 SWAT team members began to break a window where Coffey and Woods were sleeping.
Basically, I punched up through that glass on the top pane, cleared that out.
One of those SWAT team members involved in the raid showed the jury the rake and brake tool he used on the back window of the home. A flash bang device was then extended into that bedroom.
As soon as I went to look in the window, Immediately, there was a muzzle flash right in front of my face. She died because this defendant chose to open fire on law enforcement.
What you're going to hear is that his concern for his girlfriend and himself caused him to shoot a weapon.
The defense did get a win before court began, as Judge Dan Vaughn ruled that a Facebook video Coffey made a month before the SWAT raid could not be shown to the jury right now. In it, he made comments about law enforcement and how they've treated his family.
Court finds this video does not contain express threats by the defendant to kill or harm Indian River County deputies.
The case is expected to wrap up by the end of the week. In Indian River County, John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Anthony Allen, my goodness gracious, buddy, pal. You can't get around this nonsense right now. You just can't. Let me tell you, you just can't. What do you think about this here? What do you think?
I'm telling you, this reminds me of another case of a situation in which a drug dealer is shacking up with a beautiful woman, a beautiful girl. And when the shooting starts, the drug dealer survives, but the girlfriend is actually killed. Breonna Taylor comes to mind. We find this happening so much now, where these drug dealers, these thugs, they find them a nice girl to shack up with, and when the shooting gets started, the drug dealer survives and the girlfriend gets killed. These drug dealers are constantly always using these pretty girls as their own human shields.
Yup.
I think that this is a case of reckless endangerment on his part, and I don't know why these young girls don't find him a decent, man to be with. Why would they want these drug dealers and thugs to hang out with? And that's the case in this situation.
Absolutely.
Apparently, she doesn't have a whole lot of self-esteem because she wants to, have a situation with someone that always has death at the front door. And that's what happened this time. She knows that people are always after him, either other drug dealers, other crooks and thieves, or the police.
Yep.
And, being used as a human shield is what these thugs do with these young girls. So, but his demeanor in court, I could tell he doesn't care. He showed no emotion whatsoever in courtroom. When the verdicts were read, he showed no emotion.
None.
And that's how he lived his life. He doesn't care about that young girl. He doesn't care about the police officers. There are two things that he cares about. Number two are his drugs, and number one is his self. He cares more about himself than any other thing in this whole world. And that's how she died, because he cared more about himself than her.
You're absolutely correct, Anthony Allen. He did. And you can't get around this. That's why I tell the women out there, you got to stop looking for the bad boys.
The bad boys.
They will go out with these bad boys, Anthony Allen, knowing absolutely, I mean, you can't even get around this, knowing how bad the guy is. They'll have a kid with him and everything, right? End up losing your life. Your children end up losing their life. Not a good deal at all. I want folks to understand it. Not a good deal at all. This, in my opinion here, should bring everybody to reality about what's going on. Now, I have a subsequent video here, Anthony Allen. Let me go ahead and run it. When it come back, we're going to finish this here. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right, we're going to need your help. We definitely going to need your help. Here we go.
We're here today because this defendant tried to kill each of those men.
During opening statements Monday, there was no argument over whether Andrew Coffey IV, known as AJ, fired at a SWAT team conducting a search warrant at a home in Gifford. Defense attorneys counter there was justification for Coffey to defend himself.
He was besieged with loud noises, gunfire, the sheriff's department coming, and losing the love of his life that night.
That would be 21-year-old Alteria Woods. It was back in March of 2017 when a raid was executed at this home off 35th Avenue. The sheriff's office maintains after announcing its presence, 2 SWAT team members began to break a window where Coffey and Woods were sleeping.
Basically, I punched up through that glass on the top pane, cleared that out.
One of those SWAT team members involved in the raid showed the jury the rake and brake tool he used on the back window of the home. A flash bang device was then extended into that bedroom.
As soon as I went to look in the window, immediately there was a muzzle flash right in front of my face. She died because this defendant chose to open fire on law enforcement.
What you're going to hear is that his concern for his girlfriend and himself caused him to shoot a weapon.
The defense did get a win before court began as Judge Dan Vaughn ruled that a Facebook video Coffey made a month before the SWAT raid could not be shown to the jury right now. In it, he made comments about law enforcement and how they've treated his family.
Court finds this video does not contain express threats by the defendant to kill or harm any rural county deputies.
The case is expected to wrap up by the end of the week. In Indian River County, John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Man, oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about this here? What do you guys think? Anthony Allen, my goodness gracious. It comes back down to reality, right? Reality is very nice. I want folks to understand reality is real nice. Absolutely. Brother, last words. What do you think about this here?
Well, you know what I think. People have got to learn that these drug dealers, they're up to no good, and they will always be up to no good. There is nothing that he cared about more than his drugs and his lifestyle. He didn't love the girl. She was just a human shield. And what's going to happen is that he had gotten off, killing someone, allowing his girlfriend to be a human shield. He's going to go back out there selling drugs. And guess what, Jermaine BOTSIO? He'll find another woman to shack up with and to use another woman as a human shield. And guess what? When the shooting gets started, he will survive and she'll be shot dead some kind of way.
Absolutely.
That's reality.
Absolutely. And the thing is, Anthony Allen, I want folks to be smart out there, especially the women. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here, especially when it comes down to dating the wrong person. We have a lot of folks who are out here dating these type of thugs and getting themselves killed. Ladies out there, are you that desperate? Let me tell you. Wake up. America. You can see we're not racist, right? Black man, felon, not supposed to have the gun, gets off a murder charge, attempted murder charge. People, wake up. You just can't get around this, Anthony Allen. You just can't.
Wow. Someone said that he was in his drug dealer's father's house. His father was a drug dealer. He was living in his father's house there with his human shield girlfriend.
Well, the guy was a felon himself too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Gosh darn it, like father, like son.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do us a hit that like button. Make sure you share. We're going to need your help. We're going to need your help. All right? We're going to need your help. Yeah, no manslaughter either. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And they say that America, Negroes are crazy, Anthony Allen. They are. They absolutely are. Next one up. I want to speak about a GOP lawmaker, Anthony Allen. My goodness gracious. This GOP lawmaker, Lauren Boebert. Let me tell you something. Hot mama. I think the conservative guys like her. She's a hot mama. Well, this hot mama is in hot trouble right now, let me tell you. And this hot mama decided to do the unthinkable. Let me tell you. Apologize, Anthony Allen.
Oh, my.
My goodness gracious. I thought women don't apologize. What's wrong? Especially, apparently, it's just only conservative or Republican women. They're the only ones who apologize, apparently. If they're in office, let me add. If they in office, they gonna apologize. Let me go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, run this. This is with a CNN excoriating clip. CNN, you guys are a bunch of fakers. They're speaking about Lauren Boebert and what she said, and they're speaking about her apology. I want to speak about this apology, and I also want to speak about what Lauren Boebert said. I have a couple of issues with what she said, but gosh darn it, I don't want her to apologize. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Help us out. We gonna need your help, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely gonna need your help. All right? Absolutely. Here we go.
Still no condemnation from Republican leaders today after a video surfaced of Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert making horrific Islamophobic comments about one of her Democratic colleagues. Boebert suggesting she was scared to get on an elevator with Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is Muslim, because she was worried Omar might blow it up. Yes, that's right. As CNN Sunland Sirfani reports, Boebert is now apologizing to anyone she may have offended in the Muslim community as other disparaging remarks of hers emerge.
Congresswoman Lauren Boebert making an Islamophobic suicide bomber joke about being in an elevator with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
I looked to my left, and there she is, Ilhan Omar. And I said, well, she doesn't have a backpack, we should be fine.
Suggesting she was concerned Omar would blow up the elevator.
So we only had one floor to go, and I was like, do I say it, do I not? I looked over, and I said, oh, look, the Jihad Squad decided to show up for work today.
The now viral video was posted by Patriot Takes, affiliated with left-leaning groups, claimed to have been shot over Thanksgiving break. Omar responding saying the whole story is made up and calling Boebert a buffoon. Sad she thinks bigotry gets her clout. Anti-Muslim bigotry isn't funny and shouldn't be normalized. Congress can't be a place where hateful and dangerous Muslim tropes get no condemnation. Today, Boebert tweeting an apology saying she's reached out to Omar's office to speak with her directly. I apologize to anyone in the Muslim community offended with my comment about Representative Omar, adding, there are plenty of policy differences to focus on without this unnecessary distraction. But Boebert did not apologize for other incendiary remarks made during the same event, including a homophobic remark about Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg taking paternity leave.
He wasn't even put in charge of the supply chain crisis. No, someone else was tapped for that because Mayor Pete is still at home trying to figure out how to chest feed. Somebody ought to tell him so he can get back to work.
GOP leadership has been silent in response so far to the series of derogatory comments, but Republican Congressman Kinzinger calling Boebert trash.
Cancel culture isn't just to keep us quiet. It's to stop the very plan and movement of God Almighty.
This isn't the first time that Boebert, who entered Congress with this provocative video, has made inflammatory remarks.
I will carry my firearm in D.C. and in Congress.
Most recently, Boebert defended Congressman Paul Gosar before he was censured by the House for tweeting an anime video depicting him of killing Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez.
The left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended,
turning her floor speech into a tirade, singling out Democrats like Omar.
The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists.
And this afternoon, Congresswoman Omar called on House leadership to take action against Boebert. She says that normalizing this bigotry endangers her life and the life of all Muslims across the nation. She did not mention specifically Boebert's apology today, nor, Jim, did she mention if her office has heard from the other Congresswoman. Jim?
All right, Sunland Servati, thanks so much. Let's discuss with our panel.
Wow, and I'm going to stop her right here. So Anthony Allen, my goodness gracious, Lauren Boebert got herself in some hot water with the liberals. She decided to start using rhetoric she hears online, like people from me, people like me, and then she, gosh darn it, got up there and got roasted for it. I want folks to understand something here. If you're going to be speaking like how she is, it's going to be a problem. And the reason why I want folks to understand this, right? I want especially white Americans to understand this too. When it comes to speaking about Ilhan Omar, right, the diaper lady, right, there's nothing wrong with making fun of her appearance, personalizing her appearance. Nothing wrong with it. When you start attributing that to a group of folks or a group of folks, a color of folks, and start doing stuff like that, that is some dangerous territory. And I'm letting you know, right? It's just like white folks don't want to be, stereotyped as being, quote unquote, being rednecks and all this. It's the same exact thing. The culture right now isn't on your side to be making these type of comments or jokes. It's just not. We live in a nanny culture, right? We live in a mommy culture, right? Most people of color, most folks nowadays are raised by the mama, meaning that single mama, the guy is absconded for some reason. If we're trying to bring people of color over, this type of rhetoric is not a good rhetoric to have. In my personal opinion, there's so much she could have said about the diaper lady. Gosh darn it. I don't know why she even went down this route. Well, I do know why. And I'll speak about it right after Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen, what do you think about this here, sir? She spoke about the diaper lady, said that she looked like a gosh darn terrorist. Apparently, there's some folks who got their panties in a bunch about it. What do you think here, sir?
Yeah, whenever I listen to CNN, I think I'm on a whole different planet, a whole different world. The way they come after Republicans, it is just relentless. They tried to categorize Boebert's Second Amendment video about her carrying her Glock to Congress. Oh, that was inflammatory. Oh my gosh, you're going to carry a gun. But CNN, they are known for this type of over-the-top rhetoric when it comes to putting down Republicans. However, what I do want to say is that Omar has made some inflammatory remarks about America. She's made tropes about Jewish people. And believe it or not, and I'm quite sure that you are aware of this, Omar said that Boebert was a dog that pisses on the floor. That's what she called Bobart, but no one is talking about what Omar has said about her colleague. And so what we're getting at is the fact that the Muslims, they are a protected class. You can say anything you want to about white men, white women, white people, but you dare not say anything about Muslims or, for that matter, black people. So you're correct. That's where we are in our culture. It is a nanny culture. Certain groups have to be coddled. You can't say the N word around black people. You can't say the word black. You can't say bomb or boo or things around Muslims because they will come after you. However, Omar can say some people did something on 9/11. Omar can say to Jews, it's all about the Benjamins. Omar can call Bobart a dog that pisses on the floor, and no one says anything about her statements about Bobart.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct about that, Anthony Allen. On the other hand, the liberals can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they never apologize. When's the last time a Democrat apologized for something they said?
Zero,
right? It don't happen. That's why I want the Republicans to stop doing it. Right? You said something, they're upset and mad. Gosh darn it, God forgives you. Move on. That's it.
Absolutely.
God forgives you. Move on. If they have a problem with it, let them suffer. They do that to us. So I don't understand why Republicans do this. When you apologize, you bring the sharks around you. I mean, you can't get around this. It's psychological. I want people to understand. It's all psychological. It really is. Right? Soon as you apologize, we got you. You admitted that you did something wrong. Hey, everybody come. Sharks, right? Liberal dummies, come. She admitted she did something wrong. Let's beat her up. Let's bully her. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Liberals have an evil brain. So if you did something wrong as a conservative, as a Republican in office, take it up with the Lord and move forward. That's what you got to do. You don't sit here and apologize. I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? And then they're going to make a mockery of you. And then now what they want to do is probably censor you too.
Oh, yeah.
Republicans are dumb as rocks right now. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know. She's going to get censored too. Mark my words. Ilhan Omar said so much terrible things about Jews. So much terrible things about whites. So much terrible things about this nation.
Yes.
But yet, ladies and gentlemen, she's never been censored. The Republicans can't even put their 2 feet together properly to get the things done. With all the terrible things that the liberals have said, nothing has happened. You say a little infraction on our side, they want to cut your head off. Republicans out there, you're either dumb, deaf, or blind. Which one? Last words, Anthony Allen.
Yeah, which one? Because
gosh darn it.
Not only will they censor her, they will move her off committee.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the whole game that they're playing, is how many Republicans can we move off committees? They got Marjorie Taylor off committee. What's the other guy? They recently got him off a committee. And now they're working on Lauren Bobart to move her off a committee. And so they will do it because that's how they get their power. They do not have their power by negotiating and, giving a good talk about what they want to do, some good policy points. They get their power by 2 ways: cheating and clearing the playing field. That's what Obama does. That's what Joe Biden does. They either cheat and lie and clear the playing field of all opposition. And that's what they want to do with Lauren Boebert. She's so effective, they want to clear her off the playing field. And once she apologized, they have every avenue to do it now.
Absolutely. Her running her mouth saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry." And when you do that, you already have put yourself in danger. Republicans out there, what's wrong with you? What's wrong
with you?
What's wrong with you? Terrible thing, you know. You said it, move forward. Now, last but not least, all right. When it comes down to people of color, we know most people of color are not going to vote for the Republican Party, right? Let's get that out of the way first, right? Is that the pink elephant in the room, or is that the red elephant? I don't know. It's one of them elephants, but let's get this straight. You and me know that most Negroes, most people of color, are not going to vote for the Republican Party. So let me tell you something. She's not going to make us lose any more folks. Let me tell you. All right? I want the folks to understand that. That's why, sitting here and apologizing and stuff of this day isn't going to do you any good. It's not. And the thing is, right now we have a weak Republican leader, Kevin McCarthy. He's sending people to the gosh darn butcher right now, Anthony Allen, to the chopping block.
Yes.
So wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. Let's go ahead and move forward. Anthony Allen, I want to speak about this new COVID variant. It's called Omni variant. Well, gosh darn it, everybody and their mama's mom is speaking about it. I want to speak about it as well. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. We're going to need your help. Here we go.
An alarming new COVID variant raising concerns around the world. The WHO labeling the newly named Omicron variant a variant of concern, first detected in South Africa and quickly spreading. President Biden ordering a travel ban effective Monday for foreign nationals from South Africa and 7 other countries on the continent. Canada, the UK, and EU are issuing similar bans. The president warns there's a lot we still don't know about the variant, which seems to spread rapidly. Scientists warn this new variant could be more transmissible than the Delta strain. It contains a large number of mutations. Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's too soon to tell if it can evade current vaccines. Here in the U.S., health officials on high alert for the new variant. Delta currently makes up nearly all new cases. At least 35 states report an increase in infections, hospitalizations on the rise for 3 weeks in a row. Today, President Biden saying the pandemic will not end until we have global vaccinations. ABC's Trevor Ault leads us off tonight.
Tonight, health officials around the world sounding the alarm about a rapidly spreading new variant first identified in South Africa, B11529, now known as Omicron. The World Health Organization labeling it a variant of concern.
This variant has a large number of mutations, and some of these mutations have some worrying characteristics.
Today, the Biden administration joining more than a dozen other countries, moving swiftly to restrict flights from southern Africa.
We don't know a lot about the variant except that it is a great concern. It seems to spread rapidly.
Early evidence suggests Omicron may pose a higher risk for reinfection, and scientists fear it could be more transmissible than the Delta variant, and the vaccines could be less effective against it, though experts like Dr. Anthony Fauci caution it's too early to know for sure.
Right now you're talking about sort of like a red flag that this might be an issue, but we don't know. Once you test it, you'll know for sure whether or not it does or does not evade the antibodies that we make, for example, against the virus through a vaccine.
Omicron cases have also been detected in Botswana, Israel, Hong Kong, and now Belgium, where an unvaccinated woman with no connection to South Africa tested positive after returning from Egypt. Now officials in Europe, where some countries had already reinstituted restrictions and even lockdowns from a Delta variant surge, are worried Omicron could be even more damaging.
We are concerned that this new variant may pose substantial risk to public health.
Right now, there's no evidence the Omicron variant is in the U.S., but experts believe it's likely just a matter of time.
You were on 2 airplanes?
Yes! And even after the return of a more traditional Thanksgiving, with millions of families reuniting, America is also seeing troubling signs of a potentially looming winter surge. 35 states and Washington, D.C. reporting cases up at least 10% in the past 2 weeks. And now military teams fanning out to hospitals from Minnesota to Colorado as reinforcements for exhausted healthcare workers.
And everybody who's here working are so tired and frankly very broken individuals, and we don't have a lot left to give.
Healthcare workers just running out of steam. Trevor Ault joins us now. Trevor, there are still so many questions about this new variant, how transmissible it is, if it's more deadly. When can we expect to get those answers?
Well, Lindsay, the World Health Organization says there's already several studies underway in the field right now, and those will take days or weeks to complete. Typically, they can figure out transmissibility fairly quickly as a variant spreads. And Lindsay, we should also mention Moderna says they're already working on possible tweaks to their vaccine just in case. Lindsay?
Trevor, thank you.
And I'm going to stop it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Brother. Let me tell you something. It look like we never gonna get rid of this here. There's a new variant every which way you look. Let me tell you. These folks are crooks. You can't get around it. What do you think about this here, sir?
Yeah, this will be vaccination forever and ever. Forever, always. There will be booster shots. There will be variants all over the place. However, there is a twist that I know our audience would be interested in when it comes to this variant. Just to give you how political things are. Now, the doctor in South Africa that found this variant, he called it very, very mild. Those were his words. However, the woke WHO, they actually skipped over Xi because Xi would be the next one, but they want to skip over Xi because Xi is also spelled in the same way that the communist leader name is spelled. His name is Xi Jinping, but it's pronounced G, but it's spelled XI, which is the Greek letter for Xi. So they skipped that one just to make sure that the communist leader's name wasn't named after this new variant. So this is all political also. That shows you that it is political because they skipped over an alphabet just to make sure it didn't get tied to the communist leader Xi Jinping.
You know, this thing here, I doubt we're ever going to see the end of it. It looks like it's a political weapon, in my opinion. You can use it to, shut down a border. You can use it to restrict flights. You can use it, in a sense, to restrict people from moving anytime you want, right? Anytime you want, you can fudge with the numbers. Oh, well, we got a surge this week. A couple thousand more cases, we're going to have to shut down. And the thing is, nobody can really, challenge the ministry of truth out there. It seemed like if you do, they want to get rid of you. And it's a very serious thing. So this Omni variant, I know they're going to come up with another one. They say it's highly transmissible. They said that it looks like it's a lot more deadly. I don't know. But this is what they're saying. Now, Biden, Sleepy Biden, he has something to say about it. Sleepy Biden has restricted travel to some countries. Most of the countries that he, restricted was African countries. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you better wake up. Let me go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Here we go. Make sure you guys share.
Mr. President, what's your message to Americans on the new variant? Are you concerned about the new variant?
You've already gotten my release.
Yes.
I've decided that we're going to be cautious, make sure there's no travel to and from South Africa and 6 other countries in that region, and except for American citizens who are able to come back. But we don't know a lot about the variant, except that it is a great concern. It seems to spread rapidly, and I've spent about a half hour this morning with my COVID team led by Dr. Fauci, and so that was the decision we made.
So why not in the markets have dropped significantly today? What's your response to that?
Expected. They always do when there's COVID rises.
Does it worry you at all?
Not at all.
Mr. President, why are we waiting until Monday, sir?
Why not an immediate ban? It's going into effect on Monday, but why not do it now, like other countries have done?
Well, because that was a recommendation coming from my medical team.
What do you say to questions about whether bans create an incentive for countries not to come forward with new variants? If you're penalized for doing so.
That's ridiculous. Because you can't hide the variants. It's not like someone could hide the fact that there's a new variant. People getting sick more quickly.
Are you more careful now going into the holiday season? You've been telling
Look,
people that.
Here's the deal. Every American who's not been vaccinated should be responsible and be vaccinated from age 5 years and up, number 1. Number 2, everyone eligible for the booster shot should get the booster shot immediately upon being eligible. That is the minimum that everyone should be doing. And we always talk about whether this is about freedom. I think it's a patriotic responsibility.
Mr. President.
He says it's a patriotic responsibility, Anthony Allen. That's what he said. He said it's a patriotic responsibility. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody here real quick. I want to give a shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Lisa Marie Hill. Says, keep flaming, brother. $5 challenge. Sending my love to y'all. Please, I can't find Anthony Allen PayPal. I'm going to, I put the link in the stream here. It's if you go to the Facebook stream, all right, it's in the actual pin. It should be pinned up. If you go to more, and it's right here, and I'll actually drop the link again. But if you go to the pin there, and it'll be the very last one there, and it will take you to Mr. Allen. Absolutely. Shout out to you. I dropped it once more again. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
That's on YouTube, right? You dropped it on YouTube?
I dropped it on Facebook. Okay. Here, I'm going to drop it on YouTube as well. But it's on Facebook. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. I'm definitely going to need your help. Anthony Allen, what do you think about this here, sir? What do you think about what this man is saying here?
Yeah, Joe Biden is a classic hypocrite. When President Trump had to limit and, shut down people coming from China, he would call a xenophobe. He was called a racist. He was called all kinds of names because he was trying to restrict travel from the country that COVID-19, came from. But now, because Joe Biden is doing it, everybody thinks that he's doing the smart, right thing. Also, the doctor that discovered this variant, he called it mild. Those were his words. I don't know what that means, but he did use the word mild. But I also want to talk about something that you mentioned, this patriotic duty to get a vaccine. What the Democrats are doing is this. They are trying to change the definition of patriotism. Patriotism is honor of country, honor of the morals, believe in your country, fighting for your country. They want to make patriotism adherence to the state. In other words, that's socialism. That's why they want patriotism to be people following the laws and the rules that the government, dictates to them, which is what socialism is.
Yep.
So also one more point is the fact that the vaccine mandates are the new Jim Crow.
There you go.
We have Jim Crow vaccine mandates now because, like you were mentioning, Jermaine BOTSIO, they can take things from you. You can't go places because of the vaccine passports. And this is Jim Crow. The Democrat Party has always been about some sort of form of Jim Crow, whether it's Jim Crow based on color, and now we have Jim Crow based on vaccines.
Absolutely. Jim Crow on vaccines. And it's a scary deal, Anthony. It really is. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, John Lennon. John Lennon donated through our PayPal, says the preachers inciting hatred towards Arbery should go to jail for incitement of hatred. Absolutely. They should go to jail, and they should, in my eyes, be. But that ain't going to happen, John. That ain't going to happen. You know why, right? Absolutely. Joe Biden, these folks here, Anthony Allen, they know it's a tool for them to use to control folks right now. It's a beautiful tool. It's a tool in a sense that, it's hard to prove what they're saying is either true or not, right? It's hard to it's hard to prove it. It really is. So it is something that they will keep using until, people wake up to see, what it is, to see it for what it is, I should say. And when it comes down to the socialism, the things that are coming from the left, they want to turn our society into a godless society. If you look at China, right? China is a beautiful example. China, ladies and gentlemen, is a society filled with godless folks. They're godless. Why do you think in China they don't have any qualms or any conscience about making fake food and sending it out? They don't have any conscience or morality about copying people's intellectual property rights and then making a buck off of it. They don't have any standards in China because, ladies and gentlemen, religion is gone. Spirituality is gone. People can't serve two masters. Do you understand? You can only serve one master. The Luciferians know this. China, right? They know this. They know that if people have religion, they won't be subservient to the state. Right? They won't pledge allegiance to the state. They won't have supreme control. God overrides that control. So what do? They make it a godless society. If you believe in this, gosh darn it, you're killed. If you're, ladies and gentlemen, in the CCP, I want you to know, if you're in the CCP, you cannot believe in religion. I want you to know that. In the CCP, you cannot believe in religion. You have to dedicate your life to the state. I want folks to understand this, Anthony Allen.
Yes.
That's how crazy it is. And when you have this, ladies and gentlemen, you have supreme control. That's exactly what they're doing in our country. In our country right now, it's a soft form of communism. If you look at the things that we're doing, right, we can't say certain words, right? We can't even take certain things as jokes anymore because, somebody gets offended, right? These are all communist things. And now look, when people out there, especially the Communist Party in our country, right? The liberal left, if something goes on in one state, Joe Biden sends the DOJ down there to handle it, just like the communists do. Anthony Allen, am I making this stuff up here, brother? Last words.
Oh, you are exactly right. The influence of communism on our government now is pervasive, where they are taking away rights very, very slowly. It seems as if they're being politically correct, but they're sliding towards socialism and communism. Take, for example, they, skip Xi because they don't want to insult the communist leader, Xi Jinping, because his name is spelled Xi. You had this idea that nothing is funny now. You can't tell any jokes. You can't make fun of leaders. You can't even challenge leaders. You can't even go to a school board meeting without having the DOJ come to your house nowadays.
Yep.
So this is a police state, and this is what the communists want. They want all Americans to be paranoid, very, very uneasy, watching what they say. They do not want us to have freedom anymore, and this has been pushed by the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has gone complete, total socialist. They are a bunch of communists now, and they do not want freedom. They want to take away all of the Constitution, not just pieces of it. They don't want to have any Constitution whatsoever. And everyone, like you said, Jermaine BOTSIO, must bow down to the state.
And it's an evil thing. You must bow down to the state, or gosh darn it, Anthony Allen, you ain't going to be around. You ain't going to be around at all. They have really turned the United States into a communist place without folks even realizing it. And it started so subtly, too. So subtly. All they had to do, ladies and gentlemen, is start controlling your speech. Right? That should have been number one. Right? There's certain things you can't even say now. Right? Look at Kyle Busch. He said the R word. They call it the R word. You know what the R word is, Anthony Allen?
Is it rape or racism?
Gosh darn retarded.
Retarded? Okay.
Kyle Busch from NASCAR, I reported on here. He said retarded in an interview. Do you know what NASCAR is doing?
Oh my goodness.
They're sending him to some sort of re-education training, sensitivity training.
Oh gosh.
That's what is going on in our nation. That's in a communization. I want folks to understand. Real communists, they'll send you to what they call a re-education camp, right? Sensitivity training, re-education camp. Hey, yeah, there's something wrong with your brain. You're not thinking like a communist. We're going to send you somewhere. That's exactly what they're doing in our country.
Yes.
People are so blind, deaf, and dumb they can't see it. And folks like Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, don't know what's going on, but he's reaping the benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama for coming on in here. Everybody for hitting that like button. Everybody for sharing. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl, Sharon Glover. Shout out to you, sweetheart. Shout out to the beautiful Sharon Glover. Took the challenge. Shout out to you. Absolutely.
Yes, also from me too, Sharon. Thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. Shout out to Absolutely. Let me tell you, Anthony Allen, these people are crazy. They are. They're absolutely crazy. But, you know, they need to be exposed.
Yes.
And folks need to know what the deal is. I want to thank you so much for coming on in here, hanging out with me, helping me get through the broadcast here with this new gosh darn setup. You know, I got some big ass eyes, so my eyes are glazing over. I said, gosh darn it, what does this button do again? I want to call my cousin. Hey, come over here. You got glasses, right? Come here. Gosh darn it, Anthony Allen, any last words for our beautiful crowd here, brother?
Yeah, you know, like my last words have to do with our nation, us as patriots sticking together. We must continue to do what our great president said, President Trump. He said, stay together. Do not let these Democrats, these socialists, these communists divide us. They will try to divide us on color and anything they can find to divide us. But we as Americans, we as patriots, we must stick together. And that's how we win our country back. Do not let them divide us on any issue whatsoever, but stick together. And 2024, we will get Trump back and we will begin to dismantle this socialist, communist, you know, hill, mountain that the Democrats have created. So
Absolutely.
Let's stay together, everyone.
Absolutely. I think that folks, there's a lot of folks who are waking up to what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that the more the message gets out there, the more that people see the nonsense coming from the liberal left, you know, a lot of this will change. But there has to be a push from folks to get the information out there. There's a lot of people out there, ladies and gentlemen, who just are NPCs, right? Non-playable characters is what they call it, right? A person who just allows their brain just to, you know, run their life. Remember, I told you guys about this, right? Remember, I told you there's two different types of folks in the world, right? There's ones who cannot control their brain. That's about 95% of folks out there, where your brain is chitter-chattering all day long. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like this, inside of your mind, right? Yeah, I call that the wide consciousness band. That's what I call it. Yeah, it's a consciousness band where you think about everything at once, right? It's kind of like a multitask band. It's real nice. Absolutely. And then you have what I call a narrow band of consciousness where you can focus in on one thing, right? And then nothing else enters your brain. Yeah, most folks live their life on the wide consciousness band, right? And when you live your life like that, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You have a lot of what I call distortions in your brain. Yeah, depression. You start thinking, your brain randomly starts coming up with stuff that you don't know why it's coming up with. Yeah, you're like, man, why am I thinking about this right now? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's because you don't know how to control your thought process, your brain, right? How to control the thought forms entering your brain. It needs to happen. And when more folks get the message to really be in control of your life, right? Authentic power. That's when you see a change here. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you are not controlling your brain, somebody else will. Yeah, I don't make this stuff up. So my message, control your own brain. Yeah, learn how to narrow that conscious band. Yeah. So that's what it is. Anthony Allen, thank you so much, brother, for coming on in here.
You're welcome, my friend.
Ladies, I want to thank you once more again for coming on in here, hitting that like button, and sharing. All right. I definitely appreciate it. I'll be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, giving you guys the good word. All right. So definitely come hang out with me. Come chill with me. All right. Absolutely. So that's what it is. We'll catch you guys here next week with the Weekend Rumble. But I'll be on tomorrow. So you guys take care. Have a beautiful night. And we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. Peace.